friend of mine just told me to go fishing with him, and I think I'm going to. It is 63 degrees outside, which is like perfect. In Illinois, I've never really fished this early, but I can tell you one thing though. I'm certainly always ready to go. I just left my house. I'm headed over to my friend's house. It's in the same location or in the same like area in the suburbs in which I live in that I'm going. It's like, I don't know, driving like half an hour away from my house to go fish in 60-degree weather. Now in Illinois, obviously I don't have to get to fish as often as I would, which is why I would totally move to a warmer place. If Judith was willing to move, I would have been out of here a long time ago. I would have gone either to Texas or California, to a place where I can fish year round. Any other season of the year, I can pretty much do whatever I want, whenever I want to, except for in the winter. And that kind of bothers me a little bit. The fact that I can't do what I love to do, or the other thing that I love to do, any time that I want to, is a bit of a problem for me, which is why I would move to like somewhere down south, Orlando, Texas, or somewhere in those areas. Judith is not down to move. Like, she wouldn't move, but I totally would. Anyway, we're coming up to this little pond. We're pond hopping today, boys. All my fishermen out there, you guys know the deal? I appreciate you. Not picking that up. It's a business call. But right now, I am in the business of catching fish, goddammit. No! Alright, I don't know if you guys can see, but that guy right there, that's one of my good buddies. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but it's super windy, so obviously you guys, you may not be able to hear me, but that's my buddy over there. Out of nowhere, he says I'm going fishing, and I looked at my watch, and it said that it was like 60 degrees out, so I'm like, I'm going fishing too. Once you get out here, it's super windy, it's gonna be hard. The reason that I'm using what I'm using today, if you guys are a fisherman, is because in Illinois, the spinnerbait in small ponds do really, really good, especially in cloudy conditions like this. That's why I'm using the white spinnerbait with gold and silver. You guys can see it, but like right there's like a orange. Yo, let's try to get. All right, so I just spent about the last half hour in this little area right here because we saw like mad movement. I mean, we see the shadows. Like they're teasing us. Obviously, it's too cold still for them to react. Maybe, I don't know, but that's why it's called fishing and not catching. All right, that's gonna do it for this lake. There was really nothing to be caught. I mean, I knew it was way too early to be out here anyway, but you just never know. You never, ever know until you give it a shot. I'm gonna go home now. I'm gonna get something to eat. I'm gonna go change, maybe take a shower, and then head over to the Optic House. Disappointed, but a bad day of fishing is better than no day of fishing. All right, 5:01 in the afternoon, just got home, just took a shower. I had to get the smell of outside. You guys know what it smells like, how you smell when you've been outside the entire time. Wishful thinking, I thought that I was gonna get out there and that it would be late enough in the season where, you know, the ice is thawing out, so maybe there was a hungry fish out there. So I'm content. I'm happy with the fact that I did that. I got a chance to hang out with my friend. I haven't seen him in like 3 weeks. I've known that kid, holy fuck. I've known that dude since high school. So I went out there, I fished for a little bit and did that. You know, for me, and I've talked about this several times before in like commentaries, but since I haven't done a commentary in over 3 years, kidding, in over a year, I figured, you know what, I'll talk about it a little bit. In the time that I've been doing Optic, in the time that I've been working at Optic and working for Optic and working for myself and working with and alongside my friends, I've learned a valuable lesson, right? That if you focus on things that you love, and I know that not everybody is in the lucky and blessed position that I'm in to do it, but if you like the things that you do, you're never gonna have a bad time doing it. So you know, in doing this video game stuff, like it's only opened up the door to do more things that I love. In this case, fishing is one of them, which is why I started my clothing apparel for fishing called Bashers. Right now it's a little bit of an off season. We sold out twice of Bashers stuff, which is like amazing, because that only means that a lot of the people that follow me are also fishermen, or are into fishing, or have people in their lives that are fishermen. And for me, that's amazing, right? Because that's another part of my life that I get to share with you guys. If I had my choice and I could do 3 things in life for a living, I'm already doing one of them. If I can fish, to add that on top of it, that's going to be awesome. And I intend on doing that. I intend on competing in fishing at some point or another. The other thing that I want to do is I want to paint more. I want to be more of an artist. I want to get back to what I used to love throughout my high school years and into my mid-20s. You know, art for me was was an everyday thing, and it wasn't until, you know, video games that, well, actually, if I put it into the correct timeline, it wasn't until poker came in my life, or you know, Texas No Limit Hold'em came into my life, that I stopped painting regularly, because I was solely focused on being good at poker. I did that for about a year and a half. And then that's when I discovered Call of Duty. And then Call of Duty just took my life into this heaven-like place that is the present. But I know that I owe it to myself to continue to push and strive to do things that I want to do, because I have a passion for it. You know, which brings me to another point. Yesterday we announced that I was going to be helping out Dexerto and partnering with them. It's not an Optic partnership as much as it is a personal partnership, but Optic will be, you know, sort of working hand in hand with them. Since I started Optic Intel, all right, let me start from the beginning as to why I started Optic Intel. In Call of Duty, as young of an esport as it was in the past, or in the previous years, you had to do everything on your own if you wanted to make something happen. News would drop that this agency partnered with this League of Legends team, or this agency partnered with this Counter-Strike team, and nobody was coming into the space and helping us out, right? Nobody was coming into the space and helping our brands out. So what did I do? I went out, I found somebody that was in the marketing space. You know, we talked about several things. We put a vision in front of certain people, and then boom, RevXP happened. It's a marketing agency for brands that are trying to work in the esports scene. The reason that I don't talk about RevXP as much, or why I didn't make a big deal out of it, and you know, I was on the Chicago Business Journal. I was, you know, Forbes talked about it, ESPN talked about it. A lot of people talked about it, but me personally, I kept my head low when all those announcements were happening, and simply because at that point we didn't really have anything to announce. The partnership was one thing, right? But to make it work, you know, people can create a million things, okay? But until those things work, there's really no point in talking about them, right? I know what I was doing behind closed doors. I know what I was doing behind the scenes. So I knew that at one point or another, March 16th is when we were going to be able to be proud of, or not that I'm not proud already, but I was going to be able to talk loudly about RevXP. Okay, because we are bringing in a major player into the Call of Duty space, and that to me was like one of the most proudest moments of my life, because I knew that if we did it on our own, we would make it happen, right? We've had little support from Activision, right? Aside from like David Vonderhaar and maybe Sledgehammer, like we really didn't have. And I mean, David Vonderhaar obviously was the driving force, right? And some people behind closed, I don't know if they want me to name their names, but you know, everybody knows that David was like one of the main dudes that really sat down, put his ear to the ground, and listened to us and what we were doing, and he helped, right? But there's a 2-year interim from where we don't see him, unfortunately. So, you know, in the way that MLG created the league, the way that UMG created itself, we needed to create this, like, we did it all on our own, is what I'm trying to say. So the way that Optic Intel happened, as I digressed and went into this tangent, the way that Optic Intel happened was that I saw that there was this opportunity for the news to be delivered a certain way, a different way. You know, websites with articles and all that. That's awesome, right? I read them constantly, but there was something missing in video form that was not being made, right? You know, sitting there and having a podcast or sitting there and talking about Call of Duty is one thing. Creating entertaining content that delivers a message or delivers the news is what, pretty much drove me to create Optic Intel. When that happened, I talked to Hitch. Hitch wanted to create something else. Hitch wanted to do I don't even remember how it happened, but I told him, look, I have this idea for Optic Intel. This is what we want to do, and you can create the content. You can be like the person that drives that content, and whatever. We'll bounce ideas off each other. In this time, there was other news sites that was happening. Like Deserto's been around for a while, but there was other news sites that was not really doing it the way that I envisioned, the news to be, right? The news and pieces of interest. So I decided, let's create Optic Intel, because I have this specific vision of how I think it's going to look. And then through that, we started to see this change in the way that content was being, one, consumed, two, delivered. So the whole vision thing came to be, and Hitch no longer had time to do Optic Intel. And then I've always been really good friends with the guys at Dexerto. I hang out with them at events, during the events and post the events. We go to the bar together, we drink, we eat together. So, I enjoy their company. I don't work with people that I don't get along with. What's the point in being in the position that I'm in if I just have to work with people that I don't like, right? Luckily, they're good dudes. They've been around for a very long time, and Dexerto as a brand has always been around, right? They were instrumental in creating a scene, a stable ecosystem, if you may, in Europe. The fact that they did that, the fact that they were good people, the fact that I enjoy being around them, and lastly, the fact that they're funny. I've been watching their podcast since they started it, right? I've gone out of my way to create videos with them because I just think they're one of the funniest dudes in the industry that nobody knows about. So I'm constantly telling them, you guys are pushing Dexerto the wrong way. You guys are pushing Dexerto as a site when you guys should be pushing you three, Chris, Mike, and Josh. Those three should be Dexerto, right? And I whether they listen to me or not, I'm coming on board to be, a partner / advisor in the thing, in Dexerto. But I've always saw them as the drivers of the name, right? I believe in that because I don't know. I'm entertained by them. Therefore, I put a little bit more faith into what I think that they can deliver if they concentrate certain parts in their efforts. And I've been pushing that for the longest time. And, we got to talking, and I'm like, look, Optic Intel is not doing anything. I still believe that there's a need for video content to be delivered a certain way when it comes to news and stuff about Call of Duty. And Call of Duty is just a part of it. Obviously, at Dexerto, we cover more than just... That's the first time I say we, but at Dexerto, we cover more than just Call of Duty. We do, League of Legends, Counter-Strike, etc. But content is king, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that these guys have a really good head on their shoulders to where they can deliver something. They're funny as fuck. Anyway, headed to the Optic House. I hope that you guys understand the whole Dexerto thing. It's nothing but good things. I'm excited about the project.
I was gonna just edit my monologue from yesterday, but the microphone didn't pick up any audio. Or it broke audio. It sucks. Sucks to suck. I know.
Yo, so Seth is downstairs, 100%. The script?
No, what?
You didn't hear the script for?
No. What is
It's like 6:10. I don't know what time they went to bed, but I don't care how early or how late I go to bed. I'm always waking up before 7:30, at least 9, before noon, 100%. It's 6:10 p.m. Film my interview for Vision, and then I hear, man, it smells like sex in here. Oh. So it is now 7:14, and we've been sitting in this room for some odd reason for the last 45 minutes. Door closed.
more than a team?
Oh my god.
The fuck are you watching?
I don't know.
Raining like a monsoon outside, But I need to get some berries for tomorrow's shake. Unfortunately, GNC is closed, so I can't get a new shaker cup. I have the shaker cups. What I don't have is the little ball in the middle. So I'm gonna see if Mariano's has it, and then I gotta go 10 minutes or 15 minutes the other way. Let's get it. Oh my god. Oh, it's fucking... I decided to go with frozen berries instead of just regular berries. That way I don't have to add ice to it and it'll be still pretty cold. So Leo just won the Oscar, finally. Now, did he deserve to win it? Yes. For this movie? I don't know. I haven't seen The Revenant yet. The reason I haven't is because I'm saving it for a travel day. So when it comes out on video, I can watch it on my way to go somewhere. So it's the fastest way to travel. When you immerse yourself in a movie or in a show, best way to travel. Sleeping, sure, but watching shows and watching movies is always the easiest way to travel. Alright, that's gonna do it for me tonight though, guys. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please remember to leave a like, which is the equivalent of a YouTube Oscar. Just like this bottle of water that I've been drinking. It's the second one today. Health grind continues tomorrow. But that's gonna do it for me tonight, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to leave without leaving a like. Until next time, as always, it's been Up to Hex. I'm out.
What can I say? I left the fucking party and I crashed that shit. I didn't mean to, but like I said.
Alright, so when I told you that 3 times before that, yo, chill. Yo, chill. One, I know that this is the first time you've ever used a drone.
Time out. Time out. Time out. Okay. First and foremost, it was a windy day. It was windy.
Did I crash it?
You're a pro at this.
This is my second day using it. I just wasn't, you know, doing it full, like, I wasn't going full on with it.
Fine, you had a full 46 hours beforehand to practice,
No,
which I didn't.
2 hours, if that. Maybe 10 minutes, if anything.
Okay.
Okay, it wasn't like, I just